So this is the overview of Liber Demonica. I've actually got this bound in a book with several games, so that's why I'm only hiding this. So unfortunately the covers, it's kind of good, but it doesn't really state it until you get in here. And this is where it starts looking amazing. So they've got plenty of these woodcut art, very medieval style, very amazing. So I'm just going to hide this one because this one's a little bit dodgy for viewing. So again, lots more of this amazing art, well set out. So let's see how this game plays. It's actually quite simple and straightforward, I've got to say. So I'll just kind of run through what each of these pages cover. So obviously, introduction, that you are going down to hell and you are one of the minions and you are set to try and bring patients over to the, I don't want to say dark side because that's just got the wrong connotation, but I just can't help but think that. So anyway, you're trying to get them over to hell and you'll need 9 6-sided dice, 3 of them to resolve your prompts and 6 to represent the possession. I think I actually only really ended up using the 3. I don't really think I needed the possession dice, but you will need something to represent your merit points. Coins, brimstone, human teeth. I actually didn't really need those either. I just wrote everything on my page. So pen and paper. Now it discusses how you will work through the game. So your game is classed as a career. So I guess career kind of campaign. So you start with 3 merit points, and if you lose the game, obviously you lose merit points. In order to win, you've got several conditions, and that includes getting up to 12 merit points, which gives you a promotion, which you'll see on later pages. So, to start, you start out by giving your character a name, which gives you all these different ideas up here, as well as some syllables down here. But if you want to do it through running a table, roll a couple of dice and it will give you example 4 syllables, and you can rearrange them or they must be repeated, and then you just go through these tables and pick them up and try and put your name together. This then goes into what your demon is going to appear as. So any facial features, whether you've got horns, cloven hooves, wings, if you're hairy, all those just appearance-based details. Demonic ledger is how you keep your records. I basically didn't. I mean, mine looks like a mess, believe me. As you can see, not exactly the greatest, but it worked for me. So yeah, do it however suits you. Now, if you're into the journaling aspect, sorry, I keep knocking this table, which makes my camera shake. If you're into the journaling, all of these aspects in the start of the game are really good. It'll give you lots of prompts to write all of those finer details. If you're not so much into that, which I actually wasn't, I did it because it was there in the game, but will I do it next time? Probably not, because it really didn't make a difference. It's more just, I guess you'd say, flavor text in a way. So now this comes down to your rewards. It's talking about merit points and how you can lose them, what happens if you do well. And then we go on to the patient qualities, and this is actually a whole lot less specific than your own demon qualities. Just basically says that you've got, your patient's got so many good qualities. In this case, it's roll a single 6-sided dice, add that value plus 3, and that's how many good qualities your patient has. And it just gives you a few examples, like they feel compassion for the less fortunate, they go to church, they volunteer, or they care for injured animals. This is great again for your journaling, but if you just want a straight, quick dice game, I wouldn't even bother. So, finally, the 7 deadly sins. This is one of the winning conditions, where you can use one of those 7 deadly sins, such as pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, and use them to turn your patient to the demonic side. if you manage over the course of your career or your campaign to use each of those, which again would probably be more useful in a journaling type method where you're actually storytelling with it, this would really make sense. I'm not sure how I couldn't myself think through it because that's not how my mind works. I'm not really into that sort of storyish way. Maybe you can figure that out, a way to do it without doing the journaling. As you can see, some more amazing art. And this just basically discuss going through a session, resolving the prompts. So in order to win, you can roll prompt 12, which you'll see shortly, which is basically, it's an automatic win. Your patient goes to evil side. If you lose all the good qualities, patient's evil qualities are twice as many as good qualities, or when the patient has several evil qualities. So looking back on my horrendous mess of a game, these here are all the prompts I rolled. So as you can see, I started with 6. I definitely didn't roll prompt 12, so that would have been great. I didn't lose all my good qualities. I certainly didn't have twice as many evil qualities as my good qualities, and I didn't have 7 evil qualities. So I ended up losing because I rolled prompt 2, which is an instant loss that nothing I could do would tempt the patient over to the evil side. As a result, I lost a demerit point, which means demotion. So this is the prompt. I'm just going to give you a quick look at this. So there's the instant loss and the instant win and all of these in between. If you roll these, you get small tables, and it just depends whether you get, for example, 1 good quality and 2 evil qualities if you roll a 5 or a 6 after you've rolled an apple a day. I'm not going to let you see that one for too much, otherwise I'll spoil the game for you. So once you have finished and you've gained or lost merit points, you can get your promotion or your demotion. So you could be, the best one here is High Executioner. The Great Father below knows how much pleasure you gained from inflicting pain and discomfort on your patients during your career. He gives you an axe of infinite beheading and promotes you to the position of High Executioner, tasked with continually chopping the heads off the damned. And the worst one here is, I'm going to change that, butt licker. You're worse than a butt kisser. You lick the butt of gluttony greater demons with the hopes of moving up the ranks of hell. It won't happen though. Not only are you the lowest of the low, but you'll probably get crushed by a gluttony greater demon's butt before that happens. What a way to go. So yeah, again, back into the journaling. This is a really great prompt for how you can finish your story. And this is just basically more of a rundown how it all works. And that is Liber Demonica. Quite an interesting little game. Now, I did forget to mention that I bought this game for 9 Canadian dollars, which is around about 12 New Zealand dollars. So I don't know the conversion for the States, but it shouldn't be too far off that 9. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it and have a good one. So we're back looking at Liber Demonica. We are Legion. So initially when I played this game, I had a few mixed feelings, but I think there was more my own misunderstanding, and I was just, yeah, I just couldn't comprehend something that actually I was well and truly overthinking. So it's actually quite a good game. At the time I thought it was a bit more like an activity, but yeah, now that I'm looking back on it, it's like, no, it's actually not a bad little game. It'd probably be very quick if you play it the way I did, because I'm not really into journaling. But if you want to go into the journaling, you can go more in depth with the story, and you've got so many really awesome prompts written down in here that you could do that quite well. So the only real cons of this, there are a couple of inappropriate picks. So if you're a bit prudish or squeamish, maybe don't go there, because it is a dark theme. But if it still appeals, because it's not, that dark theme doesn't come through in a gory way. It's all very straightforward. Yeah, it doesn't go into too much detail. It's kind of just gives you enough to lead you in a direction without all that nasty detail. So if you don't like some of those inappropriate pics, don't print them, which is great. So yeah, it's really well formatted. Everything's in a nice logical flow. Like at the start, if you're really into that journaling part, you can do the start where you set up your character. I did it, but generally I'm not into that kind of stuff. I really don't care what my character's like. So you can set up their name, what they look like, you know, if they have wings, if they're furry, what kind of legs they have. What else? Yeah, just all the different appearances. That really didn't appeal to me. I did it, but wouldn't really bother next time because it doesn't actually make too much of a difference to the game itself. It's sort of just, I guess, like flavor text, really. You get a little bit on patient qualities, but again, that's nothing really too in-depth. It's just like, this is the kind of good person they are, and that's about it. So, what else does it cover? So, the tables are really great. They're all nicely set out. So when you need to roll on a table or you need to look up the different aspects that you want to go through, everything's laid out really nicely. So yeah, a whole lot of guidance. So for journaling or creating your demon. And if you're actually interested in it, sorry, just re-looking back, you can play this over sort of a campaign style, and you get extra points for your demon if you manage to use all of the 7 deadly sins to bring your patient into hell. So that gives you another option of gameplay. So you're not just playing like a one-off. You can just keep playing and see if you can get that extra bonus points from a small campaign of it, as well as options that you can roll at the end of it to see how well you did, and it tells you if you're really poor and, I don't know, the devil sends you to hell or you're dismissed or demoted. Yeah, so I actually do kind of like this game. Like I said, initially I wasn't too sure about it. I thought, okay, it's a bit of an activity. But once I've gone back over and kind of understood where I went wrong the first time, I actually enjoy it. It's a nice, quick game. It's only 26 pages to print, so of course it's only going to be, you know, based on about 20 cent printing per page. You're only looking at about $5 printing. So yeah, it's really good value for money, and really all you need to take is some dice and just the tables that you need for the prompts for the dice, and you can just go through and do the game really easily. So yeah, it's nice and portable, nice and small, easy to store. So how will I rate this? So you've got shelf, recycle, pass it on, or bind it. I've actually got it bound already, so, but that's not going to be the thing. I do like it. I'm not going to pass it. I'm not going to recycle it. So I think I'll shelve it. I think I will come back to this every now and then. I don't know that it'll be one of my go-to games, but, you know, if I just want a nice short game in between, I can pull it out nice and easy. No big worries. I can take it with me to work if I need to. So yeah, I hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed it. And he's quite often got Kickstarters going, so have a look for Alexei Vella. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So yeah, have a look for him on Kickstarter, and you might enjoy some of his games. Have a go on.